So everybody, we are back with some spicy takes. We do this every single major event, and now we're doing it for the biggest one of the year. It's the World Championship in Fort Worth, Texas, going down from August 4th to some unknown amount of time. I don't know. It's like a week and a half. Probably like, what, the 14th? Something like that? Yeah. 4th to the 14th. It's so much Rocket League. And, of course, everybody's got their opinions. Everybody's got their thoughts and ideas on who's going to win and who's not going to win. Some of them being significantly more spicy than others. So, in the same react fashion that we always do, we are going to take a peek at the thought process behind some of these people in a thread that was called "What are your wackiest and most outlandish predictions for Worlds?" by Cynical Bagel. So, with that said, chat, if you guys also want to join in, we're hanging over at twitch.tv/Lawler. Feel free to put some of yours in chat as well. And for everybody watching, let me know in the comments down below what you got for your crazy takes for the World Championship. With that said, let's jump into it. Let's take a look at the thread. And the first one's going to start with Burn Biz that says Turbo subs in for Optic and beat Energy in the finals. Two crazy things about that. Number one, Turbo subbing in wouldn't be the first time he subs in and wins World Championship. Why not again? Second thing, Energy in the finals. I just don't see it. I honestly don't see Energy in the finals. I think they're still trying to develop and look at a new play style. And as of right now, there's some other teams that are just, they look good. Like, they look really, really good. Like, look at the most recent Spring Major. I can't see Energy beating them. I think they can play it close, keep it competitive. But if I have to go with my gut to saying if they could win, I don't know. I don't know. Also, it would be pretty dope if Turbo gets another new title that only he has in the 5-time. That would be insanity. If Turbo actually subs in and wins a World Championship, like, how do you not, like, conversation of GOAT, conversation of greatest of all time, the best of the best, like, it's Turbo. It's got to be Turbo. If it happens again, dude, I'm going to lose my mind if that actually happened. Also, an all-NA final would be crazy. If you're telling me the 6th seed from North America beats and the 3rd seed from North America are in the grand finals, what happened in that bracket? Who heard it? I don't know. People forget, too, Energy is still the reigning world champions. Now that I think about it, Energy is still like the reigning world champs because we haven't had a world championship since season 9 in Madrid. So Energy is technically defending their world championship title from 3 years ago. It's kind of weird to think about. Up next, none of the major winners, BDS, G2, or Moist, will win Worlds. That one is actually pretty crazy because with the way Moist is playing, they look pretty unstoppable. Up or lower bracket, they look like the most confident team. They do not get phased. They look really solid, but I actually kind of like this one, that none of the major winners are going to win Worlds. Do I think there is very good potential for them to be in the conversation and for them to be in like top 3, top 4 podium finish type stuff? Without a doubt, yes. I think Moist will be podium finish. Personally, I think Moist will be top 3. It's kind of hard not to put them there with how they've performed. Obviously, this new format is a totally different beast, but we also don't know if Wildcard is going to have a huge impact. Maybe the teams that get to play Wildcard and have like 3 or 4 days of warm-up going into groups have a much better feeling because they are still performing in front of people. Like, people forget that. Because of Pavilion Pass, you will be playing what is assumed on stage in front of a crowd in Wildcard, which means that you can get used to the environment and everything and get those kind of jitters out right away, which I think is a pretty big advantage. How much of an advantage is that going to be? I don't know. No excuses at the end of the day. You got to beat the team that's in front of you, but I think that's actually pretty important, personally. So maybe teams in Wildcard get into a hot streak and start vibing and they carry that momentum. Who knows? Because if you're going to double elimination groups, that one extra life can go quick. So none of the major winners would win Worlds. I actually kind of like that. Rowdy. Good conversation piece. Love that. Absolutely love that. I do like what Russell says. Falcons V1 phase, even SSG. Maybe Digger Energy decides to come in and clap. Who knows? Who knows? K-Corp potentially was also very close. There's some teams. Semper has been looking really good lately as well. You just never know. That's what I love about Worlds. Maybe SSA is the sleeper team that we never knew. Maybe 0-1 pops off. I don't know. Maybe Mina is the end all to be all. Could be fun. Could be fun. Up next, what do we got? Wildcard team in the finals. Again, we just did the seeding video on stream. Seeding video, we as a teaser for those watching this, we tried to identify what the seeds are. We tried to look at who's going to sub on my Twitch channel. Turns out it's Kaz. Thanks for the 3-month resub. I ironically enough, But the video tomorrow is me trying to break down the seeding and how things play out. And with the matchups and stuff, I could see. I mean, you look at the teams in Wildcard. You've got Semper, K-Corp, V1, Space Station, Mina #2. Like, there's some really good teams in there. There really are. Like, it's Wildcard's gonna be brutal, man. I'm looking forward to it. So I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised if a Wildcard team makes a deep run. Not surprised by any means. So again, there's a lot of potential from some of these teams that are in that Wildcard to make a good trend. I think Space Station is one of the scariest. A lot of people are like, why do you still consider Space Station to be a good team? Why do you think Space Station this, that, blah, blah, blah? And I'm gonna settle this. I know it's a recency bias, but I'm gonna make it real simple. Space Station Gaming goes top 6. Second place team they take to 7. It's a 1-goal game. They then drop to lowers, and they take the team that wins the whole thing to game 7 in a 1-goal game. 1-goal game, 1-goal game, 1-goal game. Space Station claps. 1-goal game, 1-goal game, 1-goal game. They're now home territory with a crowd behind them. Do not count out Space Station at LAN. There are certain teams that I look, that is a LAN team. They're going to play better at LAN. Space Station should scare some teams. I'm telling you right now. Space Station does not get enough credit. I've been saying this even before spring, that they were one of my favorites to win, and rightfully so. If Space Station beats Moist, I think they beat K-Corp. They play a close game against V1. Who knows what happens? I wouldn't say crowd as much as effect as some people think, but it does have an impact. It really does. It is so much easier playing in a crowd that is chanting for you every single goal rather than booing you if you're V1 or when you're down. If you're in a tough moment and every little thing just provides that energy, like every time that Falcons and V1 were playing, anytime Falcons scored an immediate eruption from the crowd, it does something for you. It really does. So again, Space Station, still going to keep saying it. They look good. They look good on land. Be careful. They should be a very, very big consideration in your top contenders, without a doubt. Toss a couple. This comes from the post, the OP. Dig cruise to a top 4 finish. Based upon what I've been seeing lately, that is a hot take. We'll see. One of Falcons or Furia bomb out, like BDS 06 out. Damn. I think Furia's got the ice, dude. I think Furia's cracked. Top 6 and back-to-back. You even saw how well they looked. I don't know if Furia bombs out. I can't see that. And Falcons plays too consistently a game. I don't think it's Falcons. I think Falcons looks like a team that's like, yeah, they're good. They're so consistent as a roster. So I don't foresee that. But it is a hot take for a reason. Furia, maybe. It depends on what Furia's first matchup is. You know, if Renegades makes it through, you know they're taking it out. That's just how it works. CJ is the kryptonite for Furia, apparently. Doesn't make any sense to me, but it's just the way it goes. Orlando Pirates winning the series. I would actually love that. I would love to see SSA get a win. I would love that so much. Energy makes Championship Sunday. That means Energy would be top 8. Again, I don't want to say it's an absurd thought, but with results and how things have looked lately, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But if Energy, I will say this, if Energy makes top 8, I'm actually a little bit surprised. I think Energy is going to be fighting in that lower bracket to qualify based upon the way things have been looking lately. And maybe they've been grinding like crazy. Maybe the past 2 months, they put things together. They finally get to play in front of the crowd. That's all they needed. Who knows? Who knows? We've seen them do it before. They look a little bit rough early stages, and then all of a sudden they hit a surge, so they make the grand finals and play BDS. Then again, that was back in fall. So we'll see what happens. We will see. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're playing in the lower bracket. And if they can make a top 8, why not to the grand finals? Because I do think when you're coming down to a single best of 7, flip a coin. Nowadays, teams are so good, flip a coin. Why not? Club makes top 8. Hopefully they won't be the club for long. Again, someone please pick up this team. I'm going to keep saying it. Very solid team. I think Club is actually really solid. Top 8, though, is a pretty tough one. Because I look at who else I have mentally in top 8, and I don't see them beating out. I do think Club can definitely make it into groups, though. Without a doubt. Energy make top 4. I just don't see it, but maybe. Falcons finish second again. That would be insanity. And also a little bit of pain. How many times has Falcon like just barely missed out? That's two events in a row now. 2 events in a row now where they've been so close to making the grand final and doing something special, and then they can't win it. They can't win it. I don't know what it is. We'll see. We will see. And a team comes out, a wild card comes third. I actually agree with this. I could see a wild card team taking podium without a doubt. No issues with that. But third is also tied 3-4. So immediately Reddit's like on his butt about it. They're like, hey, stop it. So tied 3-4 wildcard team. Wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised. Heck, even two of them. I wouldn't be surprised there either. The team to win Worlds will start with an F. Falcons, FaZe, or Furia. F in the chat. F in the chat. Veloce and 0-1 both make main stage, which means groups. That means you'd be a top 16 team. I do like Veloce a lot. 0-1 is good, but they are missing some of their star power, I think. Or Sensa's still playing. I also do like what Nick is talking about in chat, APAC or SSA. I do want to see that. I want to see some separation. I think APAC lately has been pretty dang solid. I really like Detonator. Watching Detonator at Gamers 8 was actually, I was like, dang, you guys improved quick. Like, you guys missed out on going to a major and you look so much better. And who knows what that has had an impact on Tokyo Verde. So I'm excited to see it. I want to see SSA versus APAC so bad. I think that's such a fun matchup. SSA beats APAC in a series. We shall see. We shall see. Energy makes the finals. I don't agree with that. But again, hot takes, which means that he believes the opposite. Dig goes 3-0 in wildcard and proceeds to go 0-2 in main event. I would not actually be surprised by that because it's happened before. It's actually happened before where they look so good. Didn't that happen in fall? They 3-0. They don't drop a single game. They go 9-0 and then they lost it in round 1. Right? Am I wrong on that? I think that's how it happened, right? Let's take a peek. RLCS, let's look at fall and winter. Fall, 9-0. I was right on that. And then they lost round 1, right? To 7 to Semper, which was funny because they had beaten Semper like 3 or 4 times before that. And then when the matters most, they actually lose to him. Funny for us. Painful for them. They then went 1-1 because Mina doesn't show up. And then they get knocked out immediately by EG, which was also unheard of at the time. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I would not be surprised by this. I would not be surprised by that. I think they're probably going to go like 3-1, 3-2. I would say 3-1. I think they'll have a tough game. A tough game 3, they'll lose it, and then they'll be able to bounce back potentially. And then they'll win. And then from there, main stage, who knows what happens. But I would say 3-1 probably, if I had to do my early prediction. Yeah. Juice. Immediately the next comment from a Dick fan. Yeah, it's pretty realistic. I know where my heart lies. I've been here before. Poor guy. Insane predictions. The grand finals will be the greatest Rocket League we've ever seen to date. Seriously, Jan will be the best player in the world after the tournament finishes. Yo, if Jan and Furia do something special, I know Jan's gonna play, but we'll see what happens. If Jan gets credit for, I think he's already in the top 3, top 5 conversation. He's so good. He really is. Dig top 3. That is some, yep. Probably not. Probably not. Really depends on seeding brackets, even stuff like energy. If he's not making top 8, isn't that it's real at this stage? It is, and John does make a good point. I actually got to meet John in London as well and have a little bit of a chat. But the difficulty, right, is while seeding and stuff, like at the end of the day, right, we talk about the just win mentality. Doesn't matter who you play against, you have to win your matches. If you're the better team, you're going to win. But it does provide, especially for the teams that are favorites, a huge advantage. I'll talk about this, and don't forget, tomorrow as a reminder, my attempt at trying to identify what seeding comes out tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune into that if you want to know what some of the matchups are going to be in wildcard. But like, if V1 is the 9th seed and they get to play the 24th seed, they're playing like an SSA team. That's essentially what should be a free win. As long as they take it seriously, they don't, take the other team lightly, they play their game. That should be a free win, realistically speaking. And having that 1 game advantage and already buying yourself an extra game is so important when it comes to the World Championship, getting jitters all the way. Like, I can't imagine being a team that has to play like I think my predictions and the way that I have seeding placed, like Optic and the club play right away or something like that. Like you're seeing like NA6 play Sam 3 or something. That's a tough match. That's a tough match. I don't want to deal with that. Let me get the jitters out. Let me play a team that I should realistically beat, Again, I agree with John. The seeding does make a pretty big deal. And then when you look at groups, like what is your group matchup going to look like? Just win forehead is what it comes down to. But man, yeah, Veloce first round getting like Mina 2. Yeah, oof. I don't know, man. Some good teams out there. Some really good teams out there. More minor regions will make main event than expected. V1, SSG, K Corp, then 5 minor. I'd be ecstatic about that. If V1, Space Station, K Corp, and then you get Secret, Pioneers, Club, Veloce, and 0-1, love it. As a fan of Rocket League, absolutely love it. Give it to me. More diversity in that group stage, please. Love it. Absolutely love it. That's why Gamers 8 was so sick. Arguably, And I don't think anybody's going to question it. Wildcard is going to be some of the greatest Rocket League experience we ever get. Getting to watch Wildcard and see these regions, not just the top dogs, but seeing like NA6 play, you know, EU5 is so what? But like NA6 against like SSA1, APIC1, stuff like that, kind of about it. I mean, we just watched what Heat did at Gamers 8. It was awesome. Pioneers top 6. So 5th through 8th. They need essentially one big upset. Like, I could see Pioneers definitely getting into group stage, which means that they're in an 8-team double elimination. Their first match is winnable. Their second match, they're going to probably need a big upset. And if they do that, why not? Pioneers is good. Pioneers is very good. So I think there's potential. There's potential in that. But 5 through 8, maybe. They just need one upset, realistically. So Justin's doesn't end up going to Worlds. No, next. Okay. Energy Dig Grand Final. Nope. 2-minute teams make Sunday. That would be sick. That would be sick. Probably not going to happen, but it'd be sick. Pioneers top 4 again. All it takes is an upset or two, and every day is a new day. Like, who knows? Furia win it all. God, be nuts. That'd actually be nuts. If Furia wins the whole thing, I can't imagine. Energy will get top 2. Unlikely. Dig miss main event. V1 finished top 4 at Worlds. Energy finishes in the lower half of main event. 9 through 16, 4 teams from regions outside NA make wildcard. 0-1 Pioneers Veloce Secret. Those are all really good picks as well. G2 win. It would be cool to see G2 bounce back. I want G2 to have a strong performance. I want BDS to have a strong performance too. I want teams to live up to their seeds. A lot of pressure though. G2 disappoint. I love the contrast. The duality of G2 fans. They win. They disappoint me. It's so true. That is the summarization of G2 fans. They're like, we've been here before. It's going to hurt. No, we got this. Full bold. We got this. We're never going to lose. We're the best. Energy lose every series they play in sits against an SSA APAC team. Dang. Energy. Imagine we get to groups. Energy goes 0-2 and they're done. Wild. And plausible too. Who knows? Immaculate bounce back for Dig. Undefeated in games until main event. Second place, Stories plays 2 more hours of Rocket League. God damn it. EU only has 1 wild card make main event. So that would be... Let me check who the wild cards are for EU again. There's 3 of them. So Dignitas, K-Corp, and Semper. Honestly, I could see K-Corp being the only one who makes it. I could see it only being K-Corp. And then he has like BDS, K-Corp being the only ones that make top 8. Which I wouldn't be surprised by. NA has all wildcard teams make main event. So he has V1, Space Station, and Optic. Optic did play a really good defensive game on LAN. And in big moments and high pressure, that is a solid playstyle. So far, Once a Runner has got a pretty good mindset with what he's doing this. And 4 NA in the top 8. Dang. He's assuming it would be like V1, Space Station, G2, and FaZe. I could see it. NA greater than EU memes are everywhere. EU Copium everywhere. NA only has 1 team make top 4, and EU NA memes and NA Copium. I mean, that's always going to be this case, right? Renegades finishes below SSA or APAC. Oof. And then CJ becomes part of the casting crew. That's what happens there. G2 or Moist miss top 8. I don't think it's unrealistic. One of the teams, slumming teams makes top 4. BDS Energy Dig. I would love that. Does quite poorly, yet there are still people on this forum adamantly stating that they're a top X team and they don't need changes. Just fun to find the rhythm. And people got to advocate and believe in their team. Have some faith. That's fair. Falcons of Furia missed top 8. But Mina Sam get 2 teams total top 8 because Club or Veloce make it. I like the old switcheroo. Like, yo, your number 1 seeds underperform, but the other teams make up for it. Which I think is awesome because that would just create more conversation about depth in a region and the results of how everything's playing out. Which I would love. I would also love. Because at the same time, is like, even though you would expect like practice and scrims, they're doing that without the main team. Because Falcons and Furia, well, Falcons is a little bit different because they're playing like Gamers 8 right after the Spring Major went back to their home country. So those teams can keep playing and practicing against each other. And then for Sam, like, they haven't had Furia there for quite a while now. So it would be interesting to see if those 3rd seeds play really well and up to competition. Honestly, it's like, thoughts on G2 versus Furia final? That'd be spicy. That'd be spicy. Like Yan versus Atomic. What more do you want? That sounds dope. If BDS pops off, that'd be cool. I'm excited to see BDS again and see what happens. FaZe win. We get the first NA final. Endpoint win a game on LAN for the first time since their winter major. Savage. Some NA teams won't get visas and complexity will play instead. Rubinal, you hope. Rubinal's a regular here in the chat. Poor Rubinal. 1 in complexity. Poor guy. Moist bomb out of main event straight away in SSG win worlds. Damn, that's coming from a V1 fan? Sheesh. That'd be wild. Calm shouts encouraging words at opponents. Oh, chat, you memers. Honestly, I'm for it. Imagine the storyline. Imagine the storyline. Hear me out. Calm for 2 majors has been throwing shade and insults, some better than others. Banter hasn't been that great. And then all of a sudden, he like Uno reverse cards it, and he's like sitting there, and he's just like, "Bro, you're so good. Nice shot." And like, honestly, if it's done facetiously, it might come across a little bit better. And that's honestly how the banter. But like, have you guys ever seen those like rap battles where they're like compliment battles? If he takes that approach, chef's kiss. Probably a little bit better. But it'd be so funny if he just like wholesomely was like, "Man, great shot. Love that. That was a sick double tap." And like just came out like super encouraging. But yeah, if he goes from like the positive, like facetious, like sarcastic side, like yeah, he gets clipped on. He's like, "Damn, he's so good. What a sick double touch." I mean, honestly, I'm about it. Either way, let me know what you guys have. Comments down below. Give me your hot takes. I'm excited to see what you guys have and who's winning. Even better yet, leave me a comment. Who's winning the whole thing? We'll be doing predictions here the next week or so. So with that said, as always, if you enjoy the content, like, subscribe, notifications, turn that stuff on. It helps me out greatly, as well as leaving comments and liking the video, all that kind of stuff. But hot takes for the World Championship. Gonna be a good one. Peace.